The waves were angry. The ocean looked endless. Ryan's arms burned as he clung to a broken piece of wood, the only thing keeping him alive. His ship was gone. His friends. He didn't even want to think about them. Salt water stung his eyes, and his throat felt dry, even though he was surrounded by water. For hours he had floated, hoping to see land, praying for a miracle. And then he saw it dotted first. It looked like a shadow on the horizon. Then it became clear, a dark green shape rising from the water. An island, small but real. Ryan forced his tired arms to move. Every stroke felt like fire in his muscles. He didn't know how long it took, but at last his feet touched sand. He collapsed on the shore, breathing hard, face buried in wet sand. For a while he didn't move. The sound of waves and the cry of distant birds filled the air. When he opened his eyes, the sun was low, and the sky burned orange. He was alive. But for how long? Ryan stood slowly. His clothes were torn, his body shivering. He looked around. The island wasn't big. He could see trees in the middle, tall and green, but something about them felt strange. Too tall, too dark. He told himself it didn't matter. Water, food, shelter. That's what mattered. He searched the shore for anything useful. Pieces of wood, a broken box, a plastic bottle. But what caught his eye were the marks in the sand. Not normal marks. They looked like symbols, curved lines, sharp edges, almost like letters, but not from any language he knew. Ryan knelt down and touched one of them. Fresh, someone or something made. These today. His heart raced. Was someone here? A fisherman? Another survivor? He looked around again, scanning the trees. The jungle was silent. Too silent. Even the birds had stopped calling. "Hello?" he shouted. His voice sounded weak. No answer. Ryan's chest felt tight. He had no choice. He had to move inland, find water before night. He walked slowly toward the trees, every step heavy with fear. The air felt strange, warm, but not like normal warmth, almost electric. His skin prickled like tiny shocks. The jungle swallowed him. Leaves as big as his arms brushed against him. Vines hung low, twisting like snakes. He found a small stream and drank greedily, the cold water saving his life. For a moment, he felt safe. Maybe this wasn't so bad. He could survive. He just had to stay calm. Then he saw it. On the ground near the stream was metal, not rusted, not broken like old ship parts. This metal was smooth, shining like silver, shaped in a way he had never seen. It looked alien. Small lights blinked faintly on its surface. He touched it, and the lights grew brighter. Ryan jumped back, heart pounding. What was this? He looked around again, suddenly sure he wasn't alone. The trees moved slightly, but there was no wind. Something was watching him. He could feel it. A cold sweat ran down his back. He grabbed a broken branch as a weapon. His breathing grew fast. Every sound felt louder: the water, the leaves, his own heartbeat. Then he heard it. A soft sound, like a whisper. Behind him. Ryan turned fast. Nothing. Just shadows between the trees. But the feeling, it was stronger now. Not just watching. Following. He ran back to the shore before darkness fell. He built a small fire with shaking hands, using dry branches and a piece of rope he found. When the flames rose, he felt a little safer. Fire kept animals away, right? But he didn't think this island had normal animals. As night came, the stars appeared, brighter than he had ever seen. The sea was black and endless. The jungle was a veil of darkness. Ryan sat close to the fire, hugging his knees. His mind was full of questions. Who made those symbols? What was that metal thing? Was someone here? And then he saw it, a light, far in the trees. Not fire, not a lantern. It glowed soft and blue, moving slowly toward him. Ryan froze. The light grew brighter, and then he saw a shape inside it. A figure, tall, thin, walking toward the shore. His heart slammed in his chest. It wasn't human Dot. The figure stepped into the firelight. It was a woman, but not like any woman Ryan had ever seen. Her skin glowed faintly, like silver under the moon. Her hair shimmered white, floating as if under water. Her eyes were bright, too bright, like two stars looking at him. Ryan couldn't breathe. His branch slipped from his hand. The woman spoke. Her voice soft but strange, like a song in the wind. "Do not fear, human," she said. "I need you." Ryan could not move. His mind screamed to run, but his legs refused. The glowing woman stood at the edge of the firelight, her silver skin shimmering like moonlight on water. Her white hair floated gently, though there was no wind. And those eyes bright, almost too bright, watching him like they could see everything. Inside him, she spoke again, her voice smooth and soft. "Do not fear, human. I need you." Ryan's throat felt dry. "Who, what are you?" His voice cracked like a boy's. The woman took a slow step forward. The sand barely shifted under her feet. She moved with grace, almost like she was floating. Ryan gripped his broken branch again, holding it like a sword, though he knew it was useless. The woman tilted her head. Her glowing eyes studied him, calm but sharp. Then she raised her hands, slowly empty, open palms. "I mean no harm," she said. Her words were clear, but there was a strange rhythm in her voice, like a song he didn't understand. Ryan swallowed. "Hard. You're not human." A small smile touched her lips. "No, not human." She stepped closer, and the firelight kissed her skin, revealing strange marks along her arms thin, glowing lines like veins of light. They pulsed softly, in rhythm with her breath. Ryan took a step back. "Stay there." She stopped. Her smile faded. For a moment, her glowing eyes dimmed, and Ryan saw something unexpected: fear. Real fear. "I cannot stay far," she said quietly. "They will find me." Ryan frowned. "They? Who's they?" The woman's gaze swept the jungle as if searching for something. "Hunters," she whispered. "They come for me. If they find you with me, they will kill you too." Ryan's blood ran cold. "Kill me? For what? I don't even know you." She looked at him, her face calm, but her eyes desperate. "You know enough now. That is danger." Ryan shook his head, trying to understand. "What are you doing here?" "On this island? I am hiding," she said simply. Her glowing eyes locked on his. "And I need your help." Ryan almost laughed, but it came out harsh and shaky. "My help? Lady, I can barely help myself. My boat sank. I'm stuck here with nothing. I don't even know what you are." Her head tilted again. "You are human," she said softly, like the word was something sacred. "That is what I need." Ryan felt a chill crawl up his spine. "What do you mean?" She didn't answer. Right away. Instead, she walked closer, slow and graceful. Ryan wanted to run, but something in her eyes rooted him to the ground. She stopped just an arm's length away. The glow from her skin lit his face, and for a brief second, Ryan forgot to breathe. She was beautiful, but not in any way he had seen before. Otherworldly, fragile and strong at the same time. "I am Kara," she said at last, her voice low, almost like a secret. "I came from the stars. My vessel was broken in the storm. I fell here. And now," she looked down at her glowing hands, "now my life fades." Ryan blinked. Your life fades? Yes. Her eyes met his again, and this time there was no mystery in them, only raw fear. I cannot survive long without a bond. Ryan frowned. A bond? Kara nodded slowly. I need energy to live. Energy from life. From you. Ryan felt his stomach twist. From me? What does that mean? Kara took one more step closer. Ryan could feel a strange heat coming from her, like warm light on his skin. Her voice dropped to a whisper, but it carried power, like every word could. Change his fate. It means, she said softly, if you help me, if you give me what I need, I will give you what no human has ever had. Ryan stared at her, heart pounding so hard it hurt. And if I say no? Kara's glowing eyes darkened, like stars behind a storm. Her voice turned sharp, cold. Then you die, alone, and so do I. The fire crackled between them. The jungle whispered in the dark. Far away, something screamed a sound that wasn't human. Kara looked toward the trees, her body tense. They come, she said, her voice suddenly urgent. She turned back to Ryan, stepping closer, almost touching him now. Her glow wrapped around him like moonlight. Her words were quick, desperate. Choose. Human, she whispered. Help me, or die when they arrive. Ryan stood frozen, his mind spinning. A part of him screamed to run, but another part deep inside knew there was no escape. And then Kara said the words that changed everything. If you accept, you will never be the same again. Ryan's heart pounded like a drum. Kara stood so close now that the firelight mixed with the silver glow of her skin. Her eyes were fixed on him, bright and sharp, and her voice carried a weight that made his stomach twist. Choose, human, she whispered. Help me, or die when they arrive. Ryan shook his head, his throat tight. Help you? How? What do you even want from me? Kara's gaze softened, but the desperation in her voice stayed. I need a life bond. Without it, I will die. I cannot return home, and I cannot survive alone. Ryan blinked, his mind struggling to catch up. A life bond? What the hell is that? Her lips curved into a faint smile, but it wasn't happiness. It was something darker. It means our lives will be tied together. Your strength will become mine. Your heartbeat will feed my core. Ryan stepped back fast, almost tripping over the sand. Weight tied together? You mean, if something happens to me? Kara cut him off. Then I die too. Ryan stared, speechless. The jungle felt colder now, even though the air was warm. You're asking me to risk my life for you? I don't even know you. Kara's voice was calm, but her eyes burned like fire. You know enough, Ryan. You. No, I am hunted. You know the hunters will come soon. If they find me, they will kill anyone near me. You will die anyway. At least this way, you live longer. Ryan ran a hand through his wet hair, laughing bitterly. Leave longer? Or die faster? Because of some alien deal I don't understand. Kara stepped closer, her glow brighter now, like a second fire between them. Her voice dropped low, soft, like a secret meant only for him. If you do this, she whispered, you will never be weak again. Ryan frowned. What does that mean? Her eyes locked on his, unblinking. The bond does not only keep me alive. It gives you what I am. Strength, speed, sight beyond your kind. You will become more. Ryan felt a chill crawl down his spine. More? It sounded like something from a dream or a nightmare. Why me? He asked quietly. Why a human? Kara's gaze flickered with something like pain. Because human life is pure energy. It burns bright. My kind cannot take from each other. We would both die, but you are different. Ryan. swallowed hard. His mind screamed to run, but something in her voice rooted him to the ground. There was truth in her words, and something else, fear. She wasn't lying. She was desperate. You said if I refuse, I die, Ryan said slowly. Kara nodded once. Yes. Ryan clenched his fists. And if I agree, what happens to me? Her answer came like a whisper of wind through dark trees. You change. Ryan's stomach nodded. Change how? Kara didn't blink. In ways you cannot undo. Silence fell heavy between them. The fire crackled softly, throwing shadows across the sand. Ryan stared at her, trying to read her face. Was she dangerous? Was she using him? Or was she truly afraid? A sharp sound broke the silence, a deep, guttural screech from the jungle. It wasn't a bird. It wasn't anything Ryan had ever heard. It sounded like metal tearing, mixed with a roar. Kara's head snapped toward the trees. Her silver veins glowed brighter, and for the first time, Ryan saw fear flash in her eyes. They are close, she hissed. Her voice was no longer calm. It was urgent, sharp. You have seconds, Ryan. Seconds to live. Or die. Ryan's pulse hammered in his ears. The sound came again closer this time. Branches snapped. Leaves shook. Something big was moving. Through the jungle, and it was coming fast. Kara grabbed his wrist, her touch burning hot against his skin. Say yes, she demanded. Say yes now, or there is no chance for you. Ryan pulled his hand back. This is insane. I don't even know if I can trust you. Her eyes locked on his, blazing bright like twin suns. Trust is a dream for the dead. Choose human. The jungle exploded with movement. Shadows moved between the trees. Glowing red eyes flashed in the darkness. Ryan froze as he saw shapes tall, armored, carrying weapons that hissed with strange light. Kara pressed close, her voice a harsh whisper against his ear. Say the word, and I bind us. You live, you fight. You become more than human, or... Her eyes flicked toward the hunters, now stepping into the clearing. You die screaming. Ryan stared at the creatures, his heart pounding so loud it hurt. He looked back at Kara, her glowing skin, her desperate eyes. He had no time left. Ryan's voice broke. His mind screamed no, but his body felt. The heat of her hand, the danger closing in, the fire burning between them. He took a breath that tasted like fear. Do it, he said. Whatever it is, do it. Kara's lips curved into something fierce and wild. Her glowing hands grabbed his face as she whispered words that sounded older than stars. The world turned white. Asterisk, the world burned white. Ryan couldn't breathe. The fire vanished. The island vanished. Everything was gone. Only light remained, crushing him, swallowing him. Heat shot through his body like liquid fire. He tried to scream, but his voice was lost in the blaze. And then came the vision's dot stars. Endless stars spinning above him. Huge ships gliding like shadows in the dark. A planet made of glass and silver towers, breaking apart in silence. A woman Kara standing, alone in a storm of fire, her glowing eyes full of pain. Then it ended. Ryan fell to the ground, coughing, clutching his chest. His heart pounded so hard, he thought it might explode. His skin burned, his blood felt like molten metal. He opened his eyes slowly and saw her. Kara knelt beside him, her silver glow pulsing like a heartbeat. Her hands were still on his face, trembling. Her eyes locked on his with something he couldn't name. Fear? Relief? Both? It is done, she whispered, her voice shaking. Ryan gasped for air. What did you do to me? Kara sat back, her hands falling to her lap. For a moment, she said nothing. Then her lips moved slowly. I gave you what you asked for. Ryan shook his head weakly. I didn't ask for this. I just wanted to live. Her glowing eyes softened. Now you will, as long as I do. Ryan froze. The words sank in like ice. What does that mean? Kara's voice was quiet, almost gentle. It means your life is mine, and mine is yours. If one falls, both fall. Ryan stared at her in horror. You didn't say that before? Her gaze turned sharp. Would you have said yes if I did? Ryan opened his mouth, but no words came. His chest ached, his skin still burned, but something else was there too. Power. He felt different. The night seemed sharper, brighter. He could hear the whisper of waves far away, the soft hiss of the fire. Even Kara's heart beat fast, uneven throbbed in his ears like a drum. What is happening to me? He asked slowly. Kara rose to her feet, graceful as a shadow. The bond awakens you. You will feel pain, then strength. Your senses will sharpen. Your body will change. Ryan pushed himself up, his muscles trembling. Change how? Her eyes glowed brighter. You will not be human anymore. Ryan's breath caught. His mind screamed that this was wrong, impossible, but deep inside, a voice whispered that it was true. He could feel it already. His heart beat like a storm, faster, harder, like it had new fire inside. Kara knelt in front of him again, her voice soft now, almost tender. You will live, Ryan, but not as you were. Do you understand? Ryan swallowed hard. Do I have a choice? Her lips curved into something sad. You had one. You made it. Before Ryan could speak, a sound tore through the night, a metallic roar loud enough to shake the trees. Red lights flashed in the jungle. The hunters were here. Kara's head snapped toward the shadows, her silver veins glowing like lightning under her skin. They come, she said, her voice turning cold and sharp. She reached for Ryan, pulling him up with a strength that shocked. Him. Run, she commanded. Ryan staggered to his feet, his legs still weak, but something in him had changed. His body felt heavier and lighter at the same time. Every sound from the jungle hit his ears like thunder. Every flicker of movement burned in his vision like fire. What did you do to me? He gasped as she dragged him toward the trees. Kara didn't look back. I made you more than human, she said, her voice a whisper of steel. A hiss split the air. A beam of red light slammed into the sand where Ryan had been sitting. The fire exploded in a shower of sparks. Ryan froze, staring at the smoking ground, his heart leaping into his throat. They found us, Kara said, her voice tight. And they will not stop. Ryan looked at her, fear burning in his chest. Then what do we do? Kara turned to him, her glowing eyes fierce and wild. We fight, she said, or we die together. And for the first time, Ryan felt it, the bond. Her heartbeat inside his, her fear in his blood, her strength like a flame in his bones. He wasn't just Ryan anymore. He was something else. Something new, but could it save them? Behind them, the shadows moved. Shapes taller than men, weapons glowing red. The hunters were closing in. Kara grabbed his hand, her voice like a blade. Stay close to me, human, she whispered. Because tonight, everything changes. Asterisk, the night exploded. A beam of red light ripped through the trees, cutting a burning line into the sand where Ryan had stood seconds ago. The air smelled of smoke and iron. Ryan's heart pounded, his breath short and fast. They're here, Kara said, her voice like a blade. Her glowing skin burned brighter, silver veins racing under her flesh like rivers of light. From the jungle came shapes tall, dark, armored in black metal that shimmered like wet stone. Their eyes glowed red, piercing through the shadows. Each carried a weapon shaped like a spear, but the tips pulsed with deadly light. Ryan froze. His broken branch in his hand felt like a joke. These weren't men. They weren't anything human. They moved like predators, slow and silent, circling the clearing like wolves. Kara's voice cut through his fear. "Stay behind me." But Ryan couldn't move. His body was shaking, his mind screaming to run. One of the hunters stepped forward, tall as a giant, its eyes burning like coals. It spoke in a voice that rattled the air, a harsh, guttural sound that didn't belong to Earth. Kara hissed back in the same strange tongue. Her voice rose, sharp and furious, like lightning splitting the sky. And everything happened at once. The hunter lunged, its spear flashing red. Kara moved like a ghost, her hand glowing as it struck the weapon aside. The ground sizzled where the beam touched sand. Sparks flew, smoke rising in curls. Ryan's breath caught. She was faster than his eyes could follow. Her body spun like silver fire, her hands cutting through the air, each strike glowing with strange energy. There were more of them. Shadows slipped between the trees, closing in from every side. Kara grabbed Ryan's arm, shoving him toward the jungle. "Move!" she shouted. Ryan stumbled, his legs weak, but then something hit him. A rush of heat, a surge of fire under his skin. His chest burned, his heart beat wild, and suddenly everything changed. The darkness wasn't dark anymore. He saw everything: the twitch of leaves, the gleam of armor, the shimmer of heat on their weapons. His muscles felt alive, heavy with strength. He smelled ozone, metal, even the strange scent of the hunter's skin. What's happening to me?" He gasped. Kaira didn't answer. She was fighting now, her body a blur of silver and light. Sparks exploded as she slammed her hand into a hunter's chest. The thing roared, crashing into a tree so hard it split in half. Another came from behind her. Ryan saw it before she did. Something inside him snapped. His legs moved on their own, fast as wind. He grabbed the fallen branch, swung hard, and the wood shattered like glass against the alien's helmet. Ryan stared, shocked, but the hunter stumbled back, roaring. He had heard it. With a stick. "Ryan!" Kara's voice ripped through his shock. "Focus!" Another beam of red light sliced the air, and Ryan dove, rolling across the sand. His body moved faster than his mind. Instincts he didn't know he had exploding like fire. He grabbed a sharp rock, spun, and slammed it into a hunter's leg. Joint, sparks burst. The creature roared, collapsing on one knee. Ryan panted, his chest burning. He looked at his hands. Blood and silver glow pulsed under his skin. "Oh God, what am I?" Kara's voice came from behind him, sharp and fierce. "What you need to be." Two hunters closed in on her. Kara leaped high, spinning in the air, her glowing hands slamming into their weapons. A wave of silver. Light burst out, throwing them back like rag dolls. Ryan couldn't believe it. She wasn't just strong, she was something else. Something unstoppable. But then he saw the blood. Silver blood running down her arm. She staggered, her glow flickering like a dying flame. "Kara!" he shouted. She turned, her eyes blazing. Even through the pain. "Go!" "No!" Ryan roared. He ran toward her, his body alive with power he didn't understand. A hunter raised its weapon to strike her down. Ryan hit it first, slamming his shoulder into its chest with a force that shocked even him. The alien crashed into a tree, snapping it like a matchstick. Ryan stood over it, chest heaving, blood on his hands. His breath came in sharp gasps, his skin glowing faintly in the dark. Kara stared at him, her lips parting in something like awe and fear. The last two hunters hissed, retreating into the trees. Red eyes vanished into the dark. Silence fell, broken only by the crackle of dying fire and the sound of waves far away. Ryan dropped the broken weapon, his hands shaking. What just happened to me? Kara walked toward him slowly, her body weak, blood shining silver on her skin. She touched his face gently, her voice soft as a whisper of wind. The bond, she said. It woke inside you. Ryan stared at her glowing eyes, his own heartbeat pounding like thunder. And now? Kara's lips curved in something that wasn't a smile. Now, human. There is no turning back. Asterisk, the jungle was silent again. Too silent. No sound of hunters, no sound of birds. Only the hiss of the dying fire and the crash of distant waves. Ryan stood there, chest heaving, hands trembling. The glow under his skin pulsed faintly, like silver veins burning through his flesh. He stared at his own arms in shock. What am I now? Kara moved slowly toward him. Her steps were unsteady, her silver blood dripping onto the sand. Even weak and wounded, she looked unreal, like something carved from moonlight. You're hurt. Ryan said, his voice raw. Kara shook her head softly. Not as much as I could be, thanks to you. Ryan swallowed hard, his heart pounding. He had fought creatures that didn't belong on Earth. And he had. Something inside him had changed. He could feel it in every bone, every breath. His senses still burned, his muscles alive with a strange fire. What did you do to me? His voice cracked, sharp with anger and fear. Kara's glowing eyes met his. There was no answer in them, only something deep and heavy, like guilt. Me the truth, Ryan demanded. All of it. What this bond really means. Kara lowered her gaze. Her hands curled slowly at her sides. When she spoke, her voice was soft, almost like a confession. The bond is not just survival, she whispered. It is a union, deeper than anything your kind knows. It ties our lives, our souls. We are one now, Ryan. If I die, you die. If you fall, I fall. Ryan felt the air leave his lungs. You didn't tell me that before. Her eyes lifted, glowing bright in the dark. Would you have said yes if I did? Ryan stared at her, anger boiling in his chest. You used me. Kara stepped closer, her voice shaking with something like pain. No, I saved you. Without me, you would be dead now. The hunters would have torn you apart. You saw what they are. Ryan ran a hand through his damp hair, pacing in the sand. His thoughts spun like a storm. She's right. But still. Kara moved nearer, her voice low and sharp. Listen to me, human. That bond is more than life. It gives you strength, speed, power beyond your kind. You felt it tonight. Without it, you would have been bones in the sand. Ryan froze. She was right. He remembered the fight, the way his body moved, the way he broke that armored beast like it was nothing. That wasn't normal. That wasn't human. But something in her voice made his chest tighten. He turned slowly. There's more, isn't there? Something you're not telling me. Kara's glow flickered like a dying flame. She took a deep breath, then spoke the words that made his blood run cold. In my world, she said softly. This bond is sacred. It is more than life. It is a mating vow. Ryan blinked. For a moment, he thought he had misheard. What? Kara's voice barely rose above a whisper. A bond of mates. Forever. One cannot exist without the other. Our law calls it the eternal thread. It is unbreakable. The words slammed into Ryan like a punch. He staggered back, shaking his head. No, that's not. You didn't say I couldn't, Kara said, her voice trembling. You would have refused, and then we would both be dead. Ryan stared at her, his heart thundering. He wanted to shout, to rage, but the sound died in his throat. because deep inside, past the fear, something else stirred. Something dangerous. When he looked at her, at the silver light of her skin, the fire in her eyes, the strength in her broken body, he didn't feel hate. He felt something else. You mean, I'm your... He couldn't finish. Kara stepped close, her breath warm on his skin. Her glowing eyes burned into his. You are mine, she whispered, and I am yours. The air between them turned heavy, thick with a pull Ryan couldn't fight. His heart hammered. His breath came fast. He felt her pain, her fear, her hope, all of it inside him, like it was his own. And then the jungle roared. The ground shook under his feet. Far away, a deep hum rose like thunder. Lights burned through the trees, white, blinding lights. Something massive was descending. Kara's eyes widened in alarm. They sent the ark, she said, her voice sharp with fear. Ryan looked at her, his blood turning cold. What the hell is that? Kara's lips trembled. The hunters were only the beginning. Ryan shielded his eyes as blinding light cut through the jungle. The hum grew louder, deep and heavy, shaking the ground under his feet. Trees bent as if bowing to some unseen god. The night was no longer dark. Everything glowed silver and white. Kara's voice broke through the roar, sharp with fear. They sent the ark. Ryan turned to her. What the hell is that? Her glowing eyes locked on his, full of something he had never seen before, not just fear, but despair. The ark is not a ship, she said slowly. It is a judgment. Before Ryan could speak, the treetops exploded. A massive shape descended, like a beast from the stars. It wasn't metal, it was alive. Its skin pulsed with black and silver scales. Its wings stretched like sails across the night sky. Dozens of red eyes blinked on its body, glowing like coals. Ryan's breath caught. That thing is alive? Kara's voice was tight. It carries the high guard. If they take me, Ryan, they will take you too, and they will not keep you alive. The ark landed with a sound like thunder, crushing trees under its massive legs. From its body, shapes slid down armored hunters. More than before, their weapons burning with red light. The ground shook with every step they took. Ryan's heart slammed in his chest. The broken branch in his hand was long gone. He had nothing except the fire inside him, the bond burning in his blood. He turned to Kara. We can't fight that. We'll die. Kara stepped close, her silver skin glowing brighter than ever, even as blood ran down her arm. Her voice was calm now, almost soft. Then we die together. Ryan stared at her, his throat tight. Kara. Her glowing eyes met his. But if we fight, we might live. For a little while longer. Ryan's chest ached. He could feel her heartbeat inside him, fast and steady like a drum. He could feel her fear, her strength, her hope. The bond tied them in ways he couldn't understand, but he knew this. He couldn't let her face this alone. He clenched his fists, feeling the fire race through his veins. His voice came out low, hard. Then we fight. Kara's lips curved into the smallest smile. Good, the first hunter charged. Ryan didn't think he moved. His body was a storm, fast and fierce, his senses blazing. He slammed into the alien with a force that shattered its armor. The creature roared, falling into the sand. Ryan grabbed its weapon, a spear of black metal glowing with red light. The handle burned his hands, but he didn't let go. Another hunter swung at him. Ryan ducked, spun, and drove the spear through its chest. Sparks exploded. Silver blood sprayed. Ryan's breath came in gasps, but his body felt unstoppable, wild and alive. Behind him, Kara was light and fire. She moved like a storm of silver, her hands glowing, her strikes shattering weapons like glass. Each time she hit, a wave of energy burned through the air. But there were too many. For every hunter that fell, 2 more came. The ark roared above them, its wings stirring the jungle like a hurricane. Ryan staggered, blood on his face, his body screaming with pain. "We can't win," he shouted. Kara turned to him, her glowing eyes fierce. "We don't need to win," she said. "We just need to live." And then she did something Ryan didn't expect. She pressed her hand against his chest, right over his heart. Her voice was soft, almost tender. "Do you trust me?" Ryan stared at her, breathless. "After everything?" "I don't know, but yes." Her lips curved in something like a smile. "Then hold on." Before Ryan could ask what she meant, the world exploded in silver light. It burst from Kara's body, wrapping around him like fire and water all at once. He felt it burn through his veins, tearing and rebuilding, like every cell in his body was remade. His scream tore into the sky. When the light faded, Ryan fell to his knees, gasping. His skin glowed faintly. His senses burned sharper than ever. He wasn't just stronger. He was something else. Something beyond human. Kara knelt beside him, her silver glow dimming as if she had given him everything. Her voice was weak, but steady. "Now, you are what I am." Ryan looked at her, his throat tight. "Kara, what did you do?" She touched his face gently, her smile soft and sad. "I gave you forever." The ark roared again, hunters closing in. Ryan stood slowly, the black spear burning in his hand, his eyes glowing faint silver under the alien stars. He turned to Kara, his voice low and fierce. "Then let's make them regret coming here." They stood together, human and alien, bound as one while the night burned with war. And in that moment, Ryan knew one thing. His old life was gone. His fate was no longer his own. He belonged to her. And together, they belonged to something greater than either world dot forever tied under alien stars. The end.